Okay, so today I'm going to be going over an in-depth review of the Rodecaster Pro by, obviously, Rode, and we're going to be using some Procaster mics right now and some Audio-Technica headphones, which you don't need to know because you're not going to be listening to it with the headphones, but we're just going to go ahead and get into this. If this interests you, you just bought a Rode, yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so today we're going to be going over, like I said, the Rode system, and this is pretty much the layout of it right here. And right now, this is with the new firmware update. So if you hit the 1 button, because that's what we're using, you have the new interface, what it looks like. So this is 2, 3, 4. So if you don't have this update yet, please just get it, download the app, and it's fairly simple to use. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to record the different settings on the microphones. So what we're going to do is we are going to first go to microphone. So we're using the Procaster. So we click the Procaster button. Now, if you have a different microphone, like you had the Broadcaster or you had the Rode NT1 or the Pod mic, whatever, you would be able to choose it here. Or if it's Givic, Nisner, or Dynamic mic, you would be able to choose that if you didn't have a Rode brand. So what we're going to do is we click back because that's what we have. When we hit back, then we go to voice. So what tone voice do you have? Deep, medium, high? I think I have kind of a deep voice. Not super deep, but I'm going to click deep anyway. And we're going to go back. Then the strength of your voice. So I am fairly soft spoken, not super soft, but I'm not, strong. So I'm going to go ahead and just click medium. So that's what we're going to do right now. Click medium. Okay. And then we go to the advanced settings. The advanced settings are the different options you have. Like there's a compressor, there's a high pass filter, there's a de-easer, noise gate, ducking, which is only available on channel 1. Essentially what ducking does, if you have all 4 people or even somebody else on the podcast, your audio comes out louder so you can be heard over the other people. So that's what that's for. We're not going to have that clicked on because it's just obviously me talking right now. So first we're going to hit record. Now that we're recording, we're going to go ahead to the different advanced settings. So, okay, so these are the different settings we have to go with. We have the compressor. We're going to go turn that on. Compressor, test 1, 2. Compressor, test 1, 2. And we're going to go turn that off. Now we're going to try the high pass filter. So high pass filter, test 1, 2. High pass filter, test 1, 2. Turn that off. The de-esser. What de-esser does, if you have a real sounding, strong sounding S when you talk, it actually tones that down a little bit so it's not so noticeable when you're speaking. So this is with it on. And this is with it off. Now the noise gate, if you have a lot of background noise, like right now I'm running my wash machine, so I would definitely put the noise gate on because you don't want to pick a lot of that background noise up, so that kind of condenses it down even more. So that's on and off. And again, the ducking is if we had another person talking, it would actually, it would actually tone them down a little bit so you'd be able to hear the number 1 channel over who the host of the podcast would be able to hear better. Now we go to the these are the really cool settings. This is essentially like if you had this gives you broadcast sound. So we have the oral exciter and the big bottom. So we're going to go ahead and turn the oral exciter on. And this is what I sound like with the oral exciter on. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2, testing. And this is what I sound like with the big bottom on. Big bottom coming to you from 95.7. Big bottom's kind of funny because it reminds me of somebody with a big bottom. Anyway, so that's on and that's off. So what I like for my settings, I like to turn the de-easer on, de-esser on, the noise gate, the big bottom. So that's kind of like how I like to roll. So that's what I'm going to be using right now for the rest of this video. I'm going to be using the big bottom setting. So anyway, oral exciter, big bottom processor. That's how you use that feature. So now the slides right here, this actually turns the mic up a little bit and this turns it down. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars down, that's about what Rode says is level. So that's a 0. So if you don't have enough mic sound, you can kind of slide it up a little bit. And again, it's going to be played with depending on the person that's on the mic, how they sound and vice versa. Now up here, these are the volume knobs for the headphones. You probably can't tell anything, but when I turn this up, I can hear myself much louder. So that is the volume knobs for the headphones. And then this is the master volume right here. This is if you have a like speakers hooked up in the back. There's a spot for those. I don't know if you can see that. But there's a spot for speakers so you can turn it into like a PA system. So that's what that is. And then we got these cool buttons over here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera over here. Now, what do these do, you ask? This is the volume control for those. So we're going to go ahead and turn it about right there, and we're going to hit the. These are pre-recorded when they came with the Rode system. So you have all these. We're just going to play all of them for you. We'll start with the orange one. A laugh track, classic laugh track. Boom, 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 classic. And that plays through. It doesn't stop. And then we have the green one, which is the wah, wah. Like if somebody tells a bad joke. Scary, spooky. Then you got your like Cinderella music. Then we got the purple one. Crickets, like, this is boring. Then we got this turquoise color. Ba-dum-ching. Again, you can turn this up, turn it down. Then you got applause, obviously. When I come in the room, I expect to hear this. Round of applause, people, round of applause. Thank you. Oh, no autographs. And then this is like if you have essentially an intro, or like you had somebody who sponsored your podcast, you can pre-record it and you hit this button. And it kind of gives you the intro music. Oh yeah, coming back for the 4th time. And then you turn it down, and this one you can click to turn it off. So this one is the one you can turn on and off. When you download the app for your computer, you can actually preset all of these, which is kind of cool because you can do pre-recorded ads, pre-recorded sound effects, and you can actually set how the buttons work. So like if you want to hit the button and it does it on a loop, you can do that, or you want to hit it and stop it instantly, you can do that. But right now, the only one you can stop is the red one, which is their default intro music. So that's what these do over here. And again, this is the slide volume for how loud that's going to be. And then you got your Bluetooth right here. So what this does, if you have a phone, you click this and it comes up on the screen. You can actually set your Bluetooth up. So if you receive a phone call, you can do phone call podcast. And that, again, this turns the volume up and down for the Bluetooth. Or if you want to play like some kind of music from your phone, you can actually do that through the Bluetooth and record it, which is kind of cool. And then if you have your phone plugged in, which is there's a spot in the back for that, you use this setting right here. And this, again, this is the control, how loud it goes. And then from your computer, USB-C to your USB of the computer, this is what this is. You can actually play music from the computer, and you can vice versa record from the device to the computer. So that's what those buttons do. And then we got these, this kind of mutes these. So if it's lit up real red, they're muted. So let me mute my sound right now. Now I'm not muted. So that's how that works. And again, this is the record button. It's really simple. You just hit it, boom, starts recording and stops recording. So right now we're still recording our voice on this. Trying to think if there's anything else that you need to know. This has 4 XLR inputs for microphones, and it has 4 headphone jacks. And on the front it has, right here, it has a spot for a regular headphone size. So you can have somebody, listen in on if you didn't have, if they were just maybe operating the board, you could have them listen in with this, and the rest of the people have their headphones in the microphone. So that is a Rodecaster in a nutshell. I hope this video, well, let's go see what other settings we can get to. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back. Now we have all these settings. So we have the channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, USB. So if this was hooked up to our computer, we would click that, and you can say if there's music coming down or speech, you can click that. Then we have the smartphone settings, obviously cell phone, call, speech, or music. And then we have the Bluetooth settings, which I talked about earlier. So then we go back to the hardware. So we have the brightness of the screen, that setting. Obviously my screen, I like to keep it really bright, and the controls, I like to keep those really bright because it's plugged in to regular power. So why wouldn't you want to keep it that bright? Then you have your headphone settings. So this has a very powerful headphone amplifier built into it. So boost headphone volume, that when that is on, it actually does just that. It boosts your headphone volume, so you don't have to turn this up as much. And then limits the max volume. That's off right now because, again, if that's on, you can only go so high with your headphones. If you don't know how your headphones operate and how loud somebody's gonna be talking, you might want to turn that on. Or if there's like a loud crash in the back, sometimes it can hurt up people's ears. And again, you want to have safety in mind. So that's what those are for. And then you have your advanced settings, which is multi-channel recording. So essentially right now I'm doing single channel recording, obviously because I'm only on one, but if I had all 4 people talking right now, I could still do a single channel recording and it would all record onto one track. But if you turn on multi-channel recording, what that would do is it would record on 4 different tracks. I'm sorry, my asthma's acting up. It would record on 4 separate tracks, and then you could literally, like if somebody said something you didn't want to be on the podcast, you could cut that track completely out and they would not be heard. So that's what that is. And then this slides it. You can reset everything to factory default, and then you get your micro SD card. I'm obviously recording now, so you can't see that, but that is a nutshell what this does. So yeah, I hope this video was informative and taught you a little bit about the Rodecaster Pro and how amazing this is. And again, this is an all-in-one podcast studio, so you don't have to have it hooked up to your computer. You can have it just hooked in. There's a micro USB card on the back. This one is a 32 gig, and or it's a 16 gig card, and it does 30 hours. I'll verify what that is when we get done with the video. I'm pretty sure it's a 32 gig, and it gives you 30 hours of podcast time, which is a lot of talking. So it doesn't have to be a special fancy one like a U3. It can be a U1, just micro USB or micro SD card, snaps right in the back, and that's about it. So again, we got a lot more videos coming out. We're going to be starting a podcast, obviously. We do a lot of electronic review videos on pretty much anything. You tell us what you want, we'll buy it, we'll review it. So yeah, 614 Live. Peace and you're welcome.